Oh, oops. That's fine. So, it is currently afternoon. We're starting with Higurashi Chapter 7 again. We've returned with... How many people do we have this time? Previous time was about 27. This time is like 60-something or something. Maybe 70. And so they asked us to have only 3 representatives. One is Keiji. I think one is Dr. Irie. And the last is Rika. Because, you know, she's her best friend that lived with her in the past year. So, of course, that'd be the best choice to show the neglect and so on. So, we continue. I never thought I'd be chosen as one of the representatives. I'm not a very good speaker, so really, Rena or Shion should have been picked instead of me. But I just couldn't refuse when they told me that Satoko's best friend should be the one to go. They told us to sit on the couch inside the visitors' room. The counselor, the manager, and the head of the office were there. The way they treated us was improving every time we came. I didn't know if today's appeal would change anything. But I was starting to feel the direction of fate shift, little by little. What do you think, Rika? Things have changed dramatically in only few days. I have no idea what will happen next. Hanyu appeared beside me. It had been a while since she showed up. Hanyu was assuming that we still wouldn't be able to save Satoko in this world either. She always felt it was best to just watch what happened, without hoping for a positive change. Yeah, but see, then nothing changes. I had been hurt so many times after being betrayed while hoping for change. Surely that wasn't good for my soul. I've been beaten down over and over again. It's better to be quiet and do nothing, and wait for the end. It's better not to expect change, and wait for the end. That way, if something bad happens, I won't feel pain, and wait for the end. My fate was already a dead end, coming very soon. But, was that really true? I did my best in many of my previous lives. However, I had always acted alone. A miracle only happens when everyone combines their efforts. I was starting to feel the depth of what that meant. But even so, that didn't guarantee that we could save Satoko. This was the best chance I had had so far, certainly. But that still didn't prove anything. I couldn't call it a miracle just yet. A miracle is something far more dramatic. So, this wasn't a miracle. It wasn't a miracle just yet. There was still someone else who needed to reach out for this to become a miracle. Everyone has been working so hard. They truly believe they can bring about a miracle. Who amongst them doesn't believe? Isn't there someone who's not reaching out her hand like everyone else is doing? Basically, it's because of Satoko that a miracle won't occur, and me sitting here doing nothing is definitely helping. Things won't change unless she starts seeking help herself. I know, but that isn't so easy for her. Everyone is trying to save Satoko, but she's not reaching her hand out in return. Before they even came here, they should have tried persuading her first. You think we should tell her to reach out her hand? Yes. I know that's not an easy thing for her. But it wouldn't be as difficult as waiting for another world as fortunate as this one. In any case, I'm the only one with the key to open her heart. I'm like family to Satoko, so me doing nothing means nothing will happen. I know she thinks the same. I'm not trying to brag or anything. Satoko is like family to me as well. No, my feelings towards her are even deeper than that. It might be only 1 year for Satoko, but I've spent decades with her. You know, I've just realized something. I know why this isn't yet a miracle. I'm realizing what I've been saying this whole time. Why is that? For a miracle to happen, everyone must come together. But someone is still missing. It's you, Hanyu. One person is still not working with everyone. That's why the miracle hasn't occurred. Are you talking about Satoko? No, it's me. I'm talking about me. I've just been observing them like a spectator. I gotta get in something warm. The wind's blowing quite a bit. Be right back in a minute. Thank you. I had just been observing them like a spectator. I'd been tired of this eternally repeating world, and acted like a witch. I had forgotten the powerful feelings needed to change fate. In other words, it was like I was supposed to be an actress, but was just sitting back and eating popcorn. I'm not a spectator. I'm one of the people on the stage. And that's why this play was never successful. In the world where Rena took over the school, if I hadn't done anything, Keiichi would have died in an explosion. Because I got on the stage like I was supposed to, the play didn't end that way. I'm a part of this world too. It's such an obvious thing, but I must have forgotten it a long time ago. I have to open up her heart. I have to set her free from Satoshi. I'm sure someone else can do that too, but I have the greatest chance of success. If I don't get up on that stage again, a miracle is never going to happen. Rika, you once did the same thing over and over again, and got hurt, remember? Are you going to make the same mistake again? I'm aware of that, but I'll never end up in a world this fortunate again. The cheap resolve to try hard again in the next world will just cause my efforts to reach a dead end somewhere else. Far more easily, and in a more hopeless form than it will in this world. This is my last chance. If this world doesn't work out, then I'm going to give up. What? Hanyu looked at me with surprise. For us, the term giving up means a lot more than what it sounds like. It doesn't only mean that I will accept my fate. It means I will accept the dead end waiting for me. In other words, accept my death. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, regrets occur even when we haven't made an effort. You know? I was blessed with such a fortunate world this time. I mean, I never thought her uncle would come back, but overall, this has been a very lucky life. And with this wind at our backs, I think I've probably unfurled my sails as far as I can. That's why I believe this time will be different. And I also think that if this doesn't work out, nothing will. If that happens, I think I'll be able to finally give up. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't say that. Oh, whoa, whoa. I'm the only person who can communicate with Hanyu. If I disappear, she will have to go on with her life all alone. That's the last thing Hanyu wants to happen. Perhaps that's why Hanyu says the things she does. She doesn't want her to be alone. She doesn't want my lifespan to wither away by getting hurt emotionally. You see, I belong here, in this play. You showed me how to enjoy watching it, but the play won't move on as long as I refuse to act. Surely that's why it always results in a dead end. Rika, I'm sure that one day you'll get another fortunate life where her uncle doesn't come back. But then something else will happen. I'm sure you'll roll an extra 6 next time. A fortunate world like this one, where Satoko's uncle doesn't come back. You're right. That really would be wonderful. Still, trying to beat my fated death is another issue entirely. That sounds wonderful, but it's still not guaranteed. Let's wait for another opportunity. Please. Oh, please don't say that you're going to give up after this world. If I die, no one will ever hear you cry again. All you'll ever be able to do is make people sense your presence by making noise. Oh. Well, I'm heading back to the stage. I'm going to do what I can. You're sick of repeating all this over and over again, aren't you? I'd rather repeat everything than spend the rest of my life without you. Apparently she thinks this time loop that's driving me mad is far better than having no one to talk to. But that's just how she feels. I want to overcome fate and see what's waiting in the future too. But it wouldn't mean anything if you weren't there with me. I'm sure that's similar to my own claim that there's no point in living past June 1983 if I'm the only one who does. My ideal future is to survive past June 1983 and let the happy times continue like always, without anyone missing. Hanyu feels the same way. She doesn't want a world where I'm not by her side. We're repeating this world only because we wish to do so. It wasn't just Hanyu's power. It was one that we shared together. Hanyu wants to be with me, just like I want to build myself a happy future. We both want the same thing. But if I refuse to repeat the world again, my long life would be over. Yet I never refused, no matter how sick and tired of it I was. For over 100 years, I kept believing that something good would happen eventually. However, our power is weakening, and we can only go back a few weeks at most. I feel like you should have done that in the first place, to keep your power stronger and whatnot. Because you don't get that much info until it's nearly over. We have so little time left to try and change our fate. If we kept it up, eventually we'd only be able to go back to the morning of the day I was going to die. That'd be a dead end for sure. I don't think a life this fortunate will ever come my way again. If my time was unlimited, I'm sure that it will eventually happen. But I can't count on it happening in what time I do have left. Hanyu told me to wait for another chance because she doesn't want to see me lose myself, but she isn't feeling the time limit like I am. It's a nightmare to die over and over again. Oh, that's a good reason. Before I end up in that hell, I want to pull the curtain down with my own hands. This is going to be my last world. If this one doesn't work out, I'm not going to repeat it again. Let me translate what she's trying to say. This world is no different from any other world. You're not going to win, so don't bet on this life. Your lifespan is not as short as you think. You should wait for your next opportunity in this endless June. Stay with me until then. Stay with me and wait for the next chance. That's what you're trying to say, isn't it? Oh, well. Then why don't you just pray for us? Pray that we can persuade the Child Consultation Center and save Satoko. Pray that I can defeat the fate of 1983. If I overcome this fate, let's do all the things I promised I'd do. Let's eat this year's watermelon while enjoying the evening breeze through the window. What kind of fall are we going to have? How much snow are we getting this winter? Let's enjoy the weather. Let's enjoy all sorts of things we've never seen. Let's watch the next episode of that TV show we like. Let's enjoy our future together. You always said we were going to work hard until that day came. But it's not fair for you to say that you're going to give up when just this life doesn't work out. I'm sorry that I couldn't keep that promise. Oh, I'm sure that we'll overcome this fate. You'll be there with me, Hanyu. Let's look up at the blue sky when that happens. I'm sure that the sky of the summer of 1983 is more beautiful than any sky we've ever seen. I'm sure I'm going to make a miracle happen in this world. God didn't design humans so they could redo their lives over and over again like me. People usually only have one chance, yet they can still make miracles happen with effort. They work so hard because they know that they'll never have a chance to do it over again. That's why miracles occur. But if I can't make one happen with all that, I just have to give up. I don't need another life. I'm going to make a miracle happen in this one. My friends taught me that. They taught me that miracles can happen when everyone works together. So it's going to happen. We'll make it happen. We're going to have a wonderful future in this life. Rika. Oh. Hanyu disappeared, sobbing sadly. She was no longer in my sight, but I could still talk to her. Hanyu, we're going to have a bright future in this world. Just trust me. If you would just give me your power, it might be easier to make a miracle happen. This is the best possible stage I can hope for. The actors on the stage and the audience before it can help each other. If you wish, you, the audience, can change the story too. Like that one choice I made earlier. I've made my decision. I'm going to give up going up on the stage. I'm not going to complain anymore. I'll do my best, just like Keiichi and my other friends. I'm not going to make any more excuses. I'm not going to wait for another fortunate world. I have to do my best in this one. I'm not talking about my decision to die after this world is over. I'm just saying that people are meant to have only one chance to live. That's why they work so hard. Because I had so many chances to redo my life, I haven't been working hard enough. I was never able to make a miracle happen. In my previous life, Rena took over the school. Because I got in her way, Keiichi made it in time to stop the explosion. The story changed because I decided to get up on the stage. Perhaps in my other lives before that, I could have changed my situation if I worked hard enough without giving up. But I kept giving up so easily, and eventually lost my interest in those worlds. And so, a miracle never happened. A miracle never happened because I was always relying on the fact that I'd have another chance. Hanyu, I hope you can understand. Please, don't be sad and work hard with me in this world. I couldn't tell if she understood me. I assertively spoke to the officials about how much danger Satoko is in. Keiichi and Irie also made their appeals from the bottom of their hearts. I had no idea how the Child Consultation Center took what we said so passionately. All I could do was pray. Or are they skipping the scene altogether so that we don't have to be like, we'll wait and see? Yep. How was it, Kei-chan? Well, it felt like a repeat of yesterday. We both went over the same things we talked about then. We're still not reaching them? I guess they said they'd look at matters more carefully? Pretty much. They said they would visit once a week and make a decision 1 month from now. Ugh, once a week. They're going to leave her with her uncle for 1 whole month? How come they can't understand how much Satoko will be hurt in that time? Maibara-san clearly explained to them the danger she's facing. I also told them about what happened to her last year. However, they're really not going to consider it an urgent case unless Satoko-chan seeks help herself? I don't mean to cut into your conversation, but is it possible for you to get Satoko-chan to ask for help? He said that he's going to destroy Sachi-kun's room if she tries to leave him. What a horrible thing to say. They're still not changing their minds. Satoko can't even ask for help because she's being taken advantage of. The purpose of a child consultation center is to protect children. I was starting to get angry at the more I thought about it. But as I thought about it some more, I realized that they were just trying to do their job. It was just that our opinions differed about the degree of urgency. We told them to save Satoko-chan as soon as possible. They told us that she should be the one asking for help. Is there any way to resolve this? Is there any way to get an SOS from her? We spoke to them about it. It seemed like they were listening closely to us. But it also sounded like they're still not going to take any action. Damn it. When the head of the office showed up, I thought I could change things today, but everything went the same as yesterday, and we still weren't able to persuade them. I assume it's Keiichi, right? However, I'm sure we're making progress. It might seem like they're withstanding our blows at first glance, but they're feeling the weight behind them. We're not going to give up just because it didn't work out today. We're going to fight until they get off their butts and save Satoko. I told everyone that we're going to do this again tomorrow, too. But we might get less people next time. Understandably. This is really annoying. We're working so hard, but this is all we can do? Damn it. We can't give up yet. We might have less people tomorrow, but we're not going to call off our 4th appeal. Even if no one comes, I'm going. I'm not going to give up until they agree to help Satoko-chan. Same here. I'm never going to give up. Thank you, Mion. I'll take whoever comes. I could see you guys from the window. Those banners must have looked really intimidating to them. I'm glad I stayed up all night to make them. Thank you for the sashes too, Irie. No problem. And that confirms we're Keiichi at the moment. I wish I could do more than this. I'm going to get more involved. I was about to give up on saving Satoko, but seeing Keiichi and Irie talking with the head of the office today made me feel motivated. Rika-chan was always watching us from afar. It made me a little happy to see Rika-chan getting more active in the whole movement. I wonder what Rika-chan can do. The next time I see Satoko, I'm going to persuade her to seek help. I think I'm the only one who can do that. The same thing was on all our minds. The issue will be resolved the moment Satoko seeks help. But nobody can say that to her, because we all know that she's dealing with the memories of her brother. Satoko, I know how you feel about Sachi, but this is different. Please ask the Child Consultation Center to help you. As long as you're seeking help, they're ready to save you anytime. Don't be afraid that your uncle is going to destroy Sachi's room. Please ask for them to save you. But without even knowing Sachi's face, I could never say that to her. The only person who can ask her to seek help is Rika-chan. She's been living with her for the past year, and she's like family. That's true. I told her today, but she didn't listen to me. It's sad, but the only person who can really talk to Satoko-chan is Rika-chan. I wish I could talk to her too, but I agree. Rika-chan is her best friend. If she can't persuade her, no one can. If we can open Satoko-chan's heart, I'm sure everything will resolve itself. It might be the better approach, rather than going to the child consultation center like this. That's not quite true. Although Rena isn't wrong either. We both have to reach out our hands. Satoko needs to reach out her hand too. I also have to do the same. If everyone doesn't work together, a miracle is not going to happen. I didn't work hard enough because I didn't believe we could do it. So the miracle never happened. So I'm going to make a greater effort. So I'm sure Satoko will take my hand. Oh, I can't really explain what I want to say. I'm sorry. Rika-chan is usually a quiet girl, but she talks a lot every once in a while. Just because she's quiet doesn't mean that she's not thinking about anything. In fact, because she's quiet, she must have a lot inside her heart that she's never expressed. We're going to continue our appeal to the consultation center. Rika-chan is going to persuade Satoko. This is the best approach, or at least the best one that I can think of. It might be slow and quiet, but now that I'm in the game, I can't quit until I win. If I gave up, I'd lose everything that I bet on. We're going to save Satoko. We just have to work together. But obviously, we don't have much time left to fight. What to do? We're definitely going to have less people tomorrow. In other words, we can't intimidate the Child Consultation Center any more than we did today. I couldn't see any way to break our deadlock with the Consultation Center, so I had no choice but to swallow down the irritation starting to boil up in my chest and pretend not to notice it. It's getting pretty dark. Mion-san, you should tell everyone to go home now. I have a festival committee meeting tonight, so I have to head straight there after this. I need to go to the meeting too. I almost forgot. That meant I had to go too. While it wouldn't be a big deal if I missed the meeting, I should still go. I sort of wonder if they don't put in spell check because some of these are very obvious. Like, there is no such thing as meaning, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to check that real quick. Maybe there is a word. I'm not knowing it. Mean. Did you mean mewing? Check. I don't understand most of the things they're even talking about there. I don't want to be rude. I'd have no choice but to go. I guess we need to wrap things up for today. Otherwise, you're not going to make it in time for the meeting. Mion thanked all the people who came today, and told them to meet at the same place at the same time tomorrow. And with that, the third day of our desperate appeal was over. Now I can have a sip. Or not. Hello? It's me, Keiichi. Yeah. I'll eat when I get home. I'm going straight to the assembly hall from here. Dad is on his way, right? Okay, got it. I called my mom and told her that I'd be going to the meeting without coming home. I'd get there kind of early, but if I went home first, I wouldn't make it in time. Mion, Rika-chan, and Irie were going to head there with me. Shion said that she was also coming. And now Rena didn't want to go home alone either. My dad won't be home until late tonight, so I'm coming too. I hope that's alright with you guys. I hope. That's fine with us. They'll be glad to see a bunch of young people there. The average age will plummet. I want to say hi to Uncle Kimiyoshi too. I haven't seen him in a while. We all head towards the Furude Shrine in the dim light. The light was on in the assembly building. Some people had already arrived. Good evening. You guys are early. Hello, Mion-chan and her friends. Good evening, Dr. Irie. Good evening. You're here early. We don't have anything else to do. More people started coming into the meeting hall. Everyone seemed to come so early. I should probably come earlier from now on, too, and ditch Satoko. I thought I saw a lot of fashionable shoes at the entrance today. There are lots of young people here. Shion-chan, it's been so long. What brought you here today? Everyone bowed to the newest arrival. It was the mayor, Kimiyoshi-san. He strode into the room with the other committee members. Hello, it's been a while. I was hanging out with Sis and just happened to come along with them. Is that so? Well, you're welcome here. You're coming to the Watanabe Festival this year, right? Yes. I'm going this year for sure. I want to see Kei-chan hosting the auction too. Why, I guess it's time for young people like you to take over the festival. By the way, I want to talk to you, Mion-chan. Can you come this way? Fine, what is it? Is that guy from the refreshment booth team still angry? Ah, well. Mion headed outside with Kimiyoshi-san and the other committee members. There's only one room in the building, so they have to go outside if they want to talk in private. Today is Thursday, so we have only 3 more days until the festival. Are you ready for the auction? There's not much that I can do now. I'm ready to get up on the stage and do my thing, though. I think Keiichi performs best under pressure. Everyone laughed. We continued to chat about the festival. We talked about what kind of festival young people like us would want to see. That sort of stuff. Suddenly, Mion tapped me on the shoulder. Kei-chan, I need you for a second. She gestured for me to follow her out front without letting the others know. What did she want? Once outside, I see Mion, Chie-sensei, and the principal. Oh, Chie-sensei, Mr. Principal. Good evening. Chie-sensei responded to my greeting, but the principal must not have heard me, since he didn't. His eyes were closed. He seemed lost in thought. That sight caused our happy, chatty feelings to cool off quickly. My intuition told me this had to be about something bad. I need to talk to you, Maibara-kun. That doesn't sound good. Are you going to the Child Consultation Center again tomorrow? Yes. We'll keep fighting until they save Satoko. That's our mission. I don't know if we'll get as many supporters as we did today, but we're going back there again. Right, Mion? Maibara-kun, I know you've already made plans for tomorrow, but after that, I think you should wait and see what they do. Thanks to the advice from Oishi-san last night, I already had an idea of the situation. Is this a warning, Chie-sensei? If our protest grows any bigger, the village officials will have to take notice of it. That's why you're telling me to quit now, isn't it? Maibara-kun, I think what you're doing is a good thing. You're not wrong to pursue the things you believe in. However... She stopped talking after that. Chie-sensei was supporting us until just yesterday. She even came to the Child Consultation Center with us on the second day. So for her to start saying completely the opposite, I felt slightly dizzy from the shock of it. Kei-chan, let me explain in her stead. Chie-sensei is still supporting us as an individual. However, well, is she being pressured by the Board of Education or something? Chie-sensei will never bow to pressure. You have no idea how courageous she is. She ignored the Board of Education and came to this village when the Hinamizawa branch school was still not approved by the government. I think Mion told me about that story before. The school was closed when the dam conflict happened. However, the village children still came to the school to learn. There were no teachers there, though, because the school wasn't officially operating. That was when Chie-sensei arrived. After they won the dam conflict, the Sonozaki family and other villagers made an appeal, and the school's existence was finally approved. So that means the village needs to approve the school. The school did not have an easy start. The government was against it, but the villagers forced them to approve. Chie-sensei came along with us on our appeal yesterday. That was very courageous of her, but now people who want to close the school are paying attention to what we're doing. That's basically it. Chie-sensei can't support us openly anymore. Chie-sensei stared at the ground as Mion spoke. I'd never seen her look so sad. If it was just about me, I wouldn't care what happened. I don't want to be a teacher who can't even fight for her own students. But I can't put the whole school in jeopardy. I don't know who told her this. Whoever it was, they warned her not to escalate things around Satoko's case. They threatened the existence of our school to make her obey, and pressured her with responsibilities she couldn't take on her own. Yesterday, Ueshi-san told me something similar, in this exact same spot, too. He warned me that if I kept escalating this, then I'd be fighting against the elders who still don't like the Hojo family. Or something like that. He told you that? Well, he's not really wrong. Mion looked at the ground along with Chie-sensei. I always thought Chie-sensei and Mion were stronger people. So seeing them both hanging their heads like this is hopeless, made me feel like we were being pushed into a dead end, and I hated it. You were just at the Child Consultation Center with us. You told everyone to come again tomorrow. That's the Mion I came to this meeting with. So when did she get swapped with this weak Mion? When I said when did she get swapped, I immediately thought of one thing. The mayor took her outside the building earlier. Did he? I see. He called you out here to talk about this, didn't he? Well, kind of. It felt painful to see her fake a smile like that. She was only out here with him for about 10 minutes. What the hell did he tell her that crushed her spirit? Mion, Chie-sensei, the two of you are the strongest people I know. I respect you very much. I can't even imagine what kind of pressure would cause you to change your opinions overnight. Wasn't even overnight, it was 5 minutes ago. I didn't feel like getting mad at them. They were just as passionate about saving Satoko as I was. Towards them, I felt nothing but pity. Maibara-kun, I don't know what to say. You don't need to apologize. I could feel an angry tone entering my voice. I'd had enough. Tell me something. Why do the old people in the village still hate the Hojo family that much? The dam conflict is over. Satoko is totally innocent, isn't she? Why do they still hate her so much? Who hates her? Whose fault is this? I'm going to have a chat with whoever that is. I don't think anyone actually hates the Hojo family. What? What are you saying? It's true that the Hojo family was the enemy during the dam conflict. The whole village believed that. But after Satoko's parents died, people started realizing that she was innocent. But no one ever came forward to forgive her. I can explain why. Shion. It wasn't just Shion who appeared. Rena and Rika-chan were there with her. They'd come out to check on me, and overheard what we were talking about. After uniting to turn the Hojo family into their scapegoat, the village is still living in fear. But not because they're scared of them. They're living in the fear that if they end up connected to the Hojo family, they'll be made a scapegoat by the village too. In other words, if you help a member of the Hojo family, you might get attacked by the village, just like they did. They still feel that way, years after the conflict. Is that true? Everyone was always nice to Satoko-chan at school. Only the old people are involved in this. However, they're the core of the village. They all believe that the leader of the Sonozaki family, my granny, still hates the Hojo family. But that's not true. Granny is also afraid. She thinks that if she forgives the Hojo family, the other elderly people will lose trust in her. This is really complicated. So what do you mean? Who am I supposed to punch in the face? The truth is, no one really hates the Hojo family. They all think we should forgive them, but they can't come forward with that opinion. They're convinced that everyone else still hates the Hojo family. So, everyone is misunderstanding each other? That's right. You can ask all of them individually. You'll see that no one really hates Satoko. Her parents' death marked the closure of that hatred. After her parents died, my grandma told everyone not to bother the Hojo family anymore. However, she didn't tell people to forgive them. That's probably because of my father. Rika-chan's father? Why is that? My father was so laid back that people started saying he didn't deserve to be a leader in the village anymore. Rika-chan's dad was a very relaxed guy. I think that helped him calmly resolve things. But at the time, people who were burning with anger about the dam project were looking for a more aggressive leader, So my granny came forward and acted as one, in order to unite the whole village. And because of her role as an aggressive leader, she can't publicly announce that she's going to forgive the Hojo family? It's when the punctuation at the end of the sentence changes my tone. Yeah, old people put a lot of stock into not changing their minds. She can't reverse her policy so easily. But that's terrible. People are refusing to forgive Satoko-chan, and then blaming it on everyone else. They can't forgive her because they're afraid of what other people might think? That's awful. During the dam project, a few households actually thought that it would be fine to vacate their homes, since they were getting compensation money from the government. But they couldn't say that out loud. The Hojo family, however, came forward with their opinion and announced that they were willing to vacate. Those households gained courage after seeing the Hojo family, and they almost established a group of people who agreed to leave. I'm sure you understand this after today, but in order to effectively protest something, everyone has to have the same opinion. It's important that the whole village is on the same page. Before the dam conflict, Hinamizawa was tearing itself apart instead of waging war. They said that it was because my father was such a lazy leader. He never thought that they'd actually build a dam. He believed that we could reach a peaceful resolution just by negotiating. People thought that was why some families started agreeing to leave. Supporters of the plan to evacuate. That sounds strange. This is the first I've heard of that. People in the village always said that they supported the dam project. Well, of course, they won't say they didn't. Wait. What? No. That's the other way around. You wouldn't say it like that. That sounds strange. This is the first I've had that. Always said they were against it would be correct. She's right. They usually claim that their enemies supported the project itself. See, there it is. It sounds worse if you call them dam project supporters than if you call them evacuation supporters, doesn't it? If you call them evacuation supporters, it makes it sound like they're peaceful people who don't want to fight. But calling them dam project supporters makes it sound... I see. It sounds more like a group of bad people trying to submerge the village underwater. It's all about appearances. Coach had appeared. He came outside after noticing how long we'd been gone. The village of Hinamizawa was brimming with a sense of unity. Mr. Furude was not able to unite the village. The Sonozaki family figured that they could seize power if they were to take charge of that unity. I'm starting to understand now. Let's phrase it a different way. In order to unite the village, they attacked the Hojo family, who betrayed their sense of community. They used them to intimidate other people. People became afraid of the Hojo family, so they changed their minds and started protesting against the dam project. They held that if you interacted with the Hojo family, you were probably a supporter of the dam project yourself. That's why everyone kept their distance from them. They acted like they didn't even see them. When someone from the family talked to them, they ignored it. Initially, they were targeting only Satoko-chan's parents, but eventually the whole family was seen as a target. Yes, even the 11 or 12-year-old Satoshi and the less than double-digit Satoko. As a result, her uncle and aunt were caught in the line of fire too. That's sort of understandable, but not too much. It's kind of ironic. That was the reason they started abusing Satoko-chan to begin with. Her uncle and aunt were not in support of the dam project, but because of Satoko's parents, they were also attacked. After Satoko's parents died, they were forced to take care of the two children. It finally makes sense. I can see the whole picture now. The dam conflict is over and Satoko-chan's parents are dead. I think the Sonozaki family should speak out and publicly forgive the Hojo family. Or at least the remainders of them. Once again, there's an issue. Granny is afraid that the elderly people here will lose their trust in her if she publicly forgives the Hojo family that's still living and not dead. Seems like the Sonozaki family is as worried about people taking them lightly as the consultation center is. I heard this directly from her, so I'm sure that's what's happening. All she could do was tell everyone not to bother the Hojo family anymore. When she dies, she wants the next family head to officially declare the end of the dam conflict and stop discriminating against the Hojo family. That's a few more years down the line, minimum. My mom knows about this too. I heard about it from her, actually. It's just that old hag's stubborn pride. Let me ask you this. It sounds to me like the mayor and his people threatened Mion and told Chie-sensei they'd close the school. How about them? Do they still have bitter feelings towards the Hojo family? It's ridiculous. Even Uncle Kimiyoshi thinks no one in the village hates the Hojo family. It's just sad that the dam conflict hasn't completely ended for these people. They're still afraid of being badmouthed behind their backs if they interact with the Hojo family. But people like you and Rika-chan interact with her. I'm young, and I don't have many ties to the town council either. Plus, Rika-chan is special. She's the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama was the one who brought humans and demons together. Which means she was able to live with Satoko, even though Satoko is not accepted by the villagers. After hearing all this, I'm beginning to understand how difficult it was for Satoko to live in this village. She always acted bright and cheerful in school and in the club. I thought that was her whole world, but I had no idea how she felt when she was walking around alone in the village. She probably went grocery shopping even knowing that people were going to ignore her. She felt the coldness from them, but she was standing strong on her feet. I had no idea she was going through something like that. I knew she went through tough times during the dam conflict, but I had no clue that she was struggling to this day. What a sad story. And the whole thing is just nonsense, too. Do you feel that way too, Rena? I feel exactly the same. No one feels bitter towards Satoko-chan, but everyone is afraid that something bad will happen to them if they interact with her. Whose fault is this? No one's? Is the land or society making them think that way? It's no one's fault. Yet they're so worried about everyone else's opinions that they can't forgive her. Huh. Yes, that kind of atmosphere is great when the wind's blowing in a good direction. People would act kindly and help each other. But the case of the Hojo family is totally the opposite. It's spreading like a mold, and no one can do anything about it. What do you do with a rotten tatami mat? You have no choice but to toss it out and get a new one. So the mayor is pressuring us not because he hates Satoko, but because he thinks that if he lets us run free, someone who doesn't even exist might talk badly about him. So that's why he can't leave us be? I call that someone the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Everyone is afraid of that someone, even though he doesn't exist. But that someone doesn't exist, and they're not a real person. Shion's theory sounded interesting. Everyone follows the rules because they're afraid of that someone. However, even the leaders of the village are afraid of the same thing. Everyone in the village is following the rules because they're afraid of someone who doesn't even exist. They still follow the rules of dam conflict, thinking that they'll be cursed if they forgive Satoko. Who the hell is that someone? They could only call it the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama cursed the Hojo family because they supported the dam project. They still believe that, and Satoko is struggling because of it. Oyashiro-sama will not curse Satoko. She thinks Satoko is adorable. Please don't use her name for something horrible like that. Rika-chan made a sad face. She's the shrine maiden for Oyashiro-sama, and the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. I don't think there's a curse in this village at all. Everyone is just convinced that there is. If that's the case, this isn't the Child Consultation Center's fault at all. The whole village bears responsibility. Yes, I think so too. I thought appealing to the Child Consultation Center would solve the problem, but that's not going to do anything. Music ramps up. Time to go after the Sonozakis. A rotten tatami mat, huh? We can't just clean the surface. Even if the consultation center does save Satoko, that's nothing but a temporary fix. I guess we need to throw away the rotten tatami mat so we can save her for good. Oh my god. It's going hard. I think those tatami mats are all assembled nearby. I agree. Most of them are within a 20-meter radius of here. Hey, Kei-chan, Rena, what are you guys going to do? Mion, you're deeply involved in the village. I know you feel hesitant to save Satoko as one of the leaders here. I understand why you and Chie-sensei almost gave up under the pressure, but I have nothing to lose. Maibara-san, are you really going to? Right here? I'm going to do it. I'm going to get rid of that rotten tatami mat. Will you join me, Rena? Yes. I'm tougher than you think. I know. But you should settle down just a little bit. I feel like you could blow up a school if you got too serious. I think you could beat up someone with a metal bat if you got too serious. We're both pretty tough, huh? Whoop, let's go. Yeah, let's go. I understand your position, Mion. You don't have to come with me. Just leave if you think things are going to get out of control. This is more dangerous than any club activity. I'm damn serious about this. As the next head of her family, she shouldn't agree with me, but she stared in silent approval of what I was about to do. Okay, if you're going to take that risk, then I'm coming with you too. That's the way. Just watch how I'll take care of this. What about you, Shi-chan? Fortunately, I have nothing to lose. I'll support you guys. Chie-sensei, Mr. Principal, I understand your stance. We're not in school right now. Please forgive what we're about to do now. You're right. I'm not your teacher right now. The principal and I will entrust our will to you. I'm supporting you guys too. If they want me out of the village, I'm willing to close down my clinic. It's only natural for a master to sacrifice everything to save his future maid. Oh, I can feel everyone's power flowing into me. I'm not even going to try and cool down. I need to be fired up for something like this. As I turned back, I noticed Oishi-san and my dad. I didn't know how long they'd been standing there. You seem excited about something, Maibara-san. Oishi-san, you told me last night that there are some things that a man can't give up on. We have to take a chance, even when it's risky. Keiichi, don't stop me, Dad. I know it's important to be polite, but I need to do this for my friend. I'm not going to stop you. Huh? He gave me a big smile. I've never seen my dad smile like that before. I believe in what you just told Oishi-san. There are some things that a man should not give up on. You'll encounter something like that in your life sooner or later. If this is that time, then I'm not going to stop you. How? Keiichi-kun's father is so cool. Of course, he's my dad. He's at least half as cool as me. I'm not from Hinamizawa. I can't take either side, but I'll be watching you closely, Maibara-san. When it's make or break, take the risk and discard for the middleweight. It's something my old friend used to say. You can't compromise once you make a decision. If you're going to forfeit, do so immediately. But if you're going to fight, be confident in yourself. Mahjong uses double-double scoring after all. Even if you get a small amount of points several times in succession, you'll lose if someone scores a lot of points all at once. You just have to be confident when you're ready to fight. Do you play Mahjong too, Maibara-san? They start talking about Mahjong together. This is going to be interesting. Someone from the committee came out and told us to come inside for the meeting. It was time for it to start. Alright, let's go inside. I feel like we're finally getting up on the stage. Stage. No wonder we felt something was missing at the Child Consultation Center. Yeah, this was supposed to be the stage all along. We were fighting with the wrong people for the past 3 days. Let's go. Someone pulled my shirt. It was Riku-chan. Keiichi, you're not only Satoko's best friend, but you're also a member of the village's 3 families. You can just watch what Ren and I are going to do. But if you're willing to help us save Satoko, I want you to support us. You're going to try and change those hard-headed men? I'm going to change them. I told you before, fate is thinner than a piece of paper. I'll tear it down with ease. Oh, change perspective. Oh, what's going to happen? They're calling the traditions of the village the Curse of Oyashiro-sama. Shion sure has an interesting theory. Is Keiichi going to smash it in two? Can he destroy the Curse of Oyashiro-sama? He will break it. Keiichi has the power to break everything. It's not just Keiichi's power, though. Because everyone is working together, Keiichi is able to break anything. This energy is more powerful than the lucky 6 on the die. It's not luck. He's destroying fate with his own 2 hands. Everyone followed Keiichi and entered the assembly hall. I followed in after them. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this with Keiichi. If this doesn't work out, that's it for me. I'm going to give it my very best. Water down the wrong pipe. Yeah. Didn't think we would change the chapter. Suppose it's the consultation center again? Or the principal. I see. We're good as long as we know that the town council and the Onifuchi guardians aren't involved. Please take care of Satoko Hojo-san's case without worrying about it too much. I will. I'm glad to know that the whole village isn't backing them. I wouldn't agree with them if they were, though. No matter who is pulling the strings, we must treat every case equally. This whole odd rule that we have to give Hinamizo a special treatment is only due to the precedent set when we let threats influence us before. Well, you're absolutely right, sir, but please continue to work on this case. The manager from the municipal government assured us that the town council has nothing to do with this petition. It's a problem that our organization is so afraid of one tiny community. As a manager, you should think about that a little. Yes, I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm glad to hear that the village isn't supporting them. You must act the same way even if the village does support them, no matter who is behind the scenes. Please be very careful with Satoko Hojo's case. Don't try to give her any special treatment. You understand? Next chapter. Is this the final chapter, or is there one more after that? Let me do a quick check. This, 1, 2... 2 of them, I think. No, 3 of them. Excuse me, I have something to say before the meeting starts. They all knew immediately that I was going to say something about Satoko. I guess they weren't just old for show. Oh, Keiichi-kun. Today's our final meeting before the festival, so can you bring up your personal issue later? I ignored him and continued talking. If you have something to say, just tell me directly. Don't go through Mion or Chie-sensei. I don't like it when people are so indirect. Let's talk face to face. Everyone went quiet. Nobody there wanted to be involved in a conversation about the Hojo family. Everyone here knows that Satoko Hojo is practically being confined by her uncle and suffering at his hands. Well, I don't care that you're not proactive about helping her. I'm sure that some of you don't want any trouble. But we're different. Satoko is our friend. We're fighting as hard as we can to save our friend from danger. However, Keiichi-kun, we're aware of all that. All we're saying is that you've done enough to the consultation center by now. Is there a problem if we continue our appeal? Of course there is. It's a big problem, too. Someone with a stern voice spoke out to me. I had gotten under their skin. Then what is the problem? Can you explain it so a child like me can understand? The dam conflict ended ages ago. The age of banding together and storming public offices is over. Oh. They brought up the dam conflict, and that it's over. The subject wasn't even Satoko anymore. All they had to offer was a bunch of excuses. I'm not asking about your past, and the dam conflict has nothing to do with this. This is my war. So if you're going to partake in my war, then let's make it clear if you're my enemy or my ally. Which is it? Are you my allies or my enemies? Rabble, 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 rabble. Listen to the things that come out of this boy's mouth. Young people these days don't know how to be polite. The whole room lit up and started filling with the smell of gunpowder. However, none of my allies let themselves get swept up in the commotion, and maintained their harsh stares. Those expressions made me feel as though I had a million supporters behind me. I was standing in front only as their representative. It wasn't my fight alone. This was everyone's fight. Because of that realization, the fierce looks the old people were giving me didn't intimidate me at all. Keiichi-kun, this is not about us being your enemy or not. Our village fought with these officials during the dam conflict. However, I do understand that this has nothing to do with that. The dam conflict is a thing of the past. I don't care what you thought about that. I'm talking about me, my friends, and Satoko. I never asked you about the dam conflict. Ever thought of getting your ears checked, old man? Why, you. How can you talk to your elders like that? You disrespectful little brat. I'd like to have a word with your parents. My dad, standing behind me, gave an apologetic and bitter smile. Pardon me. I'm his father, you see? You're his father? How could you raise him like this? I guess I'm not a very good parent. I'm not sure if I raised Keiichi the way I was supposed to. My dad paused. In the next moment, however, his expression changed to a glare. However, a single man known as Keiichi Maibara is standing here before all these faces to voice his appeal about something about this doesn't make any sense. I don't care if he's my son or not. He's only making his assertion as a man. So I don't think there's really any reason to be talking to me here. Silence filled the room as the old people sat there with their mouths agape. Oishi-san broke that silence with laughter. You've got plenty of pride, don't you? My name is Ryugu. Can I ask something? I don't understand the logic of how the dam conflict being over becomes a reason we shouldn't make our appeal to the Child Consultation Center. Would you explain that to us in detail? Rena's voice remained perfectly level, as though the matter didn't concern her. However, I could see the fury in her eyes. I was probably the only one who noticed that fury. The old people seemed like they'd rather deal with her than me. Reina-chan, this village has no reason to fight with the government now that the dam conflict is over. During that time, we did fight them, true. But after the conflict was over, that's water under the bridge. So our village re-established relations with the government. Hinamizawa is not an individual country. We're just a small village in Japan. The government is taking care of us. That's why we need to try and get along with them. You're right. It is important for a village to have a good relationship with the government. Listen to Reina-chan. She understands us, at least. Maibara's boy ought to learn from her. I heard little bits and pieces from the noise of the crowd. Yeah, that's definitely true. Hinamizawa has been trying to fix its relationship with the government ever since the dam conflict ended. Exactly, just like Mion-chan said. The old men chaired. However, Shion was the next to open her mouth. That's why the town council and the government officials are best friends now. In fact, 2 officials always come along on the town council's annual hot spring trip. They get paid to participate too. The trip itself is mostly paid for with tax money, isn't it? Oh, I know so many other things. Like the donations for the New Year and end-of-year parties, as well as the vast financial aid the town council receives for festivities. The upcoming Watanagashi is one of them. The government is putting millions of yen into subsidies and aid. They're the ones who pretty much pay for the whole festival. Ever since the conflict ended, the festival has been getting bigger and bigger. That's because we're receiving money from government officials. So if we get in trouble with them, we might not be able to hold a festival next year. That's why Hinamizawa keeps kissing their asses. Isn't that right, Uncle? Shion-chan, how do you know all of that? I switch places with my sis sometimes. What the hell? That's a ridiculous story. I still don't understand why you're against what we're trying to do. Rena, will you sum this up for me? What are they saying? Well, basically, they're colluding with the government officials, so they can't risk upsetting them. The whole room went into a panic after Rena summed it up so simply. Some of them were ashamed that we hit the nail on the head. Some of them were enraged by our ignorance, and some of them were simply angry about our disrespectful attitudes. All of them combined to throw the room into a chaos of chattering and stomping. Be quiet! Be quiet! They all settled down after Kimiyoshi-san raised his voice. By the time they quieted, the mayor had a terrible look on his face. Keiichi-kun, the relationship between the town and the council and the government officials has nothing to do with this. You're just sidestepping the issue yourself. There's no point in mixing the two up together. Listen, we won our battle against the dam project, but we're all labeled as a nest of troublemakers. And yes, we were taking advantage of that image during the conflict. However, now that the conflict was over, that image is working against us badly. We need to try and repair it. Otherwise, this village will have no future. Do you understand? It's not about just about being your enemy. It's much deeper than that. In other words, you're saying that if K-chan rouses everyone to action, then the friendly atmosphere we've developed will be ruined. The old people nodded as Mion spoke. They were assuming that Mion was on their side. Mi-chan, what do you mean by the friendly atmosphere? Does that mean that we shouldn't seek help for a poor, innocent girl who's being abused? They're trying to say that the Child Consultation Center is doing their job already, so they want us to stop interfering. Given their position, the officials can't say leave us alone that strongly, so they're asking our village to deal with the matter for them, since they're granting us a lot of subsidies. Oh, so what you're saying is the town council is the government's lapdog. Hey you, watch what you're saying. Be a little more respectful, why don't you? Why don't you watch what you're saying? I hope you're not refusing to help her just because Satoko is the daughter of the Hojo family. That's not it. We're not saying anything about Satoko-chan. We're just telling you to take a look at the bigger picture and show more restraint in your appeals. The Child Consultation Center isn't ignoring you. I'm sure they've taken your huge protest into account. They already understand your point. We're just saying that you're carrying this way too far. Keiichi-kun, I just saw something really interesting. See, look at what's in that picture frame over there. Rena pointed at the wall, and everyone followed the direction of her finger. There were very many different picture frames all over the walls of the assembly hall. They mostly had to do with the dam conflict, and were usually about glorifying the Onigufuji Guardians. Rena was pointing at a framed article. Kimiyoshi-san wrote it, way back when he was the leader of the Guardians during the dam conflict. Look at the middle portion there. We attempted peaceful negotiation, but the government and their marionette, the president of the electric company, declined, so their current marionette is now the town council. They have trampled on our village's democratic movement and our native land with indescribable atrocities. That's what Kimiyoshi wrote for the dam conflict memorial. He wrote the same thing on the monument too. Everyone knew why Rena had brought that up. I could hear them all gulping. They attempted to negotiate peacefully with the government and its marionette, the electric company. What's this? Are you sure they don't mean the Hinamizawa Town Council instead of the electric company? Still, marionette is a difficult term. Do you think the people understand what that means? Could someone explain it to me? A marionette is like a puppet. It means that while they're supposed to be an independent organization, they're actually being controlled as though they're dancing on strings. Oh, that sounds like the perfect word to describe Hinamizawa right now. Yeah, that is perfect. What are you saying? We're not their marionette. We're just trying to cooperate with them. Calling us a puppet is just splitting hairs. But that's what you just stated. You clearly told us that you want us to stop. Not because of Satoko, but for the sake of the village. You said there's an issue because of the village needs to maintain a friendly relationship with the government. Don't tell me that you didn't say exactly that. You did say it, didn't you? I heard him. He said it had nothing to do with Satoko-chan. Mion, I thought there was a saying in this village. Something about how the whole village comes together for one villager. If there's one person coming, 2 should throw rocks at him. If there are 2, 4 would do so. If there are 8, 16 would fight back. If there's 1,000, the whole village should stand up and fight. If one person is abused, the whole village is abused. We all work together for that one villager. That's the unity of the Guardians. The unity of the Guardians is stronger than rock. That's what their leader said back in the day. Mayor Kimiyoshi used to be the head of the Onigufuji Guardians. He crossed his arms and started to groan. There were many things he wanted to say, but he knew that none of them would make him look good. And so he continued to stay silent. When I moved here, Mion and Shion told me the valiant story of the dam conflict. But that unity didn't start just a few years ago, when the dam conflict happened. I believe those traditions have been here for over 40 years, ever since Japan lost the war. That's why I really respect those who fostered the unity here since that era, and I find them incredible. And more than anything, I'm impressed by the courage that the Onigufuji Guardians displayed here in this picture frame. The government tried to pull many dirty tricks to submerge this village under the water, but the Guardians thwarted every one of them. Because of the efforts of those men, Hinamizawa is still here today. If they hadn't done anything, we'd be at the bottom of a lake right now. So I'm grateful that this village still exists, with its proud unity and beautiful scenery. I'm proud to call myself a resident of Hinamizawa. That's damn right, someone shouted. It wasn't one of my friends. It was one of the elderly villagers. That's why we fight. We fight because we all live together in this village. If there's one person coming, 2 should throw rocks at him. If there are 2, 4 would do so. And the whole village is abused. Get together for one villager. That's the unity of the Guardians. Satoko Hojo is one of us. You all know how horrible her uncle is. You all know that we can't leave her alone with him for a whole month. We need to save her from her uncle right this minute. We need the power of the Guardians one more time. We need the spirits of the Guardians to reunite again. Ran and Mion applauded, and the applause quickly spread to everyone. I saw smiles creeping across the faces of the old people. However, they quickly wiped away those smiles and started discussing with their neighbors. Keiichi-kun's right. It's not like Hinamizawa has to obey the government all the time. But the damn conflict is over now. The government officials are taking care of us too. I wasn't aware of that. Are they really supporting us that much? Well, on a personal level, I agree with what Maibar's boy is saying. I can't approve of how the town council is operating. Keiichi-kun is right. The village can't put pressure on him just because the government is telling us to do so. Mr. Mayor, we might not be able to support Keiichi-kun, but I also don't think we have the right to tell him to stop. I don't like this Maibar boy's attitude. He's way too disrespectful. You think you can get away with talking to us like that? 3 scary old guys came up to yell at me. I raised my own voice and yelled right back into their faces. It's not about my attitude. It's about the soul of this village. Get out of here if you don't have the courage to stand up for one innocent villager. How dare you speak to me that way? Thwack. The big old guy smacked me upside the head. What do you think you're doing? Thwack. I hit him right back, and the room went into a panic again. Ren approached us. I thought she'd come to stop me, but she suddenly hit the old man in the head too. What? What are you doing? Don't think you can get away with this just because you're a girl. He thwacked Rena upside the head. However, Rena talked back to him with a firm look in her eyes. If one comes at you, 2 should fight back. Isn't that the spirit of Hinamizawa? Since you hit Renaissance, 4 of us need to retaliate. Let me in on this. Keiichi, your father's going to fight too. Everything you've said is right. They're going to try and stop you with violence. I won't turn a blind eye to that. There are 3 people blocking Keiichi's way. We need 6 people to fight them. Rika-chama. I'm impressed to see that courage of yours, Rika-chama. Let me in too. I too will be taking his side. Chie-sensei stood up. I thought she had given up under all the pressure. I was almost going to neglect my student. I prioritized myself, even though I thought I'd do anything for them. I'm ashamed to call myself a teacher. Yeah, because honestly, they don't need the school. They could do it outside, as long as it isn't raining, and everything else. Wearing a fierce expression, she stared at the mayor. That was her answer to the pressure he'd tried to put on her. Chie-sensei. I think that I overstepped my bounds as an educator. However, what Maibar-kun is doing is the right thing. As an educator, I have to acknowledge the fact that he's doing something right. I can no longer tell him to stop. If I have your support, Chie-sensei, then I have nothing to fear. Let me ask you people one more time. Is it more important to stay cozy with the officials than it is to save the life of one poor innocent villager? You don't even need to ask them, Kei-chan. This is no ordinary assembly hall. This used to be the headquarters of the Onigufuchi Guardians. The people here were all members of the Guardians once. Nobody without their spirit would ever come to a place like this. Mion-chan. Mr. Mayor, Kei-chan's actions are embodying the spirit of Hinamizawa. The way he's trying to fight without fear is exactly what the Onigufuchi Guardians were doing. I think it's shameful for this town council to tell him to stop. If you're still going to ask him to back off, I'm going to smash all of these pictures on the wall and set fire to the flag of the Guardians. While the mayor did nothing but moan, somebody else raised his voice. I'm going to support Maibara-kun. He may be disrespectful, but he has the right spirit. I agree. It's pathetic the way we're colluding with these government officials. Keiichi-kun, don't worry about what anyone else thinks. Keep on fighting. Don't give in to the pressure. The assembly hall instantly filled with a great round of applause. Maibara-kun, tell us what's going on so far. Very well. On the day Satoko was kidnapped by her uncle, Chie-sensei visited her house. However, he refused to let Chie see her, and it was obvious that something unusual was going on. Chie-sensei called the Child Consultation Center right after that. That night, a social worker visited her house. However, they determined that there was no abuse going on, and they put her case on hold. This might be a normal way to handle the situation, but they don't know how dangerous that uncle is. For that reason, the 5 of us went to the Child Consultation Center to let them know how urgent it was that she be rescued. They said they'd take that into consideration, but they still didn't take action after that. We thought 5 of us was not enough, so the next day we went there along with more than 20 of our classmates. We took the whole class? Kei-chan gave a very moving speech. He told them that they had to save their friend and not abandon her. If he was here during the dam conflict, I'm sure his charisma could have resolved it a year earlier. We all know too well how spirited this lad is. The consultation center was still not willing to listen to us on the second day. We made almost no progress. All they told us was that they were working on it. No, Keiichi-kun, you did make progress. They were so intimidated they asked someone from the local government to check on our town council. The fact that they tried to pressure us to stop meant that what you did was working. You made progress. I see. I guess you could look at it like that. If they weren't scared of us, they wouldn't have acted that way. On the third day, we called all our friends and gathered 60 people. This time, we got to meet the head of the office. He listened to us, but he didn't say what their decision would be. Keiichi-kun, to tell you the truth, at that point, the council had already spoken to the officials and had made our decision to stop you. After the Child Consultation Center confirmed that the whole village wasn't involved in the protest, they decided to just ignore your appeal. That's what I thought. I could feel that from the way the head of the office treated us. It was obvious that they were just trying to get it over with. We're planning to go there tomorrow too, but I wonder if they'll even pretend to listen. They might not even let us in because they think the village is pressuring us to stop. Yeah, they think that the village is on their side. The village needs to publicly announce that they're supporting Keiichi. I agree. Otherwise, they definitely won't listen to us again. We should do that. We should tell them that the Hinabizo is not going to stop Maibara-kun from what he's doing. Personally, I don't want to complain about Keiichi-kun's actions. However, it's complicated when I think about it from the town council's point of view. Even if we tell them that we're not on either side, they'll think that we're on his side. That's tantamount to picking a fight with them. But I still have to respect the opinion of the council, too. I can't just decide this on my own. I need to get approval from all the council members. Most of them are here right now. So you say, but... Let's just be honest here. You're afraid that there are some among you who are against saving the daughter of the Hojo family, aren't you? The whole room sunk into silence. That was the heart of the matter. Everyone thinks that the dam conflict is over. You all told us that a few minutes ago. You also think that there's no need to discriminate against the Hojo family now that everything is said and done. However, you're still afraid of her family. You're afraid that you'll be badmouthed if you interact with the Hojo family. Satoko-chan's parents were indeed the leaders of the evacuation supporters. But what crime did Satoko-chan herself commit? Personally, I don't have anything against her. But other people do. I don't have anything against her either. The conflict is over, and her parents also passed away. I don't hate her either. But I know there are some people who still do, yeah. Let me ask you this. If you hate Satoko, please raise your hand. I'm sure no one will. Yet you all still believe that interacting with her will make others speak ill of you. However, no one's going to. There is nobody like that. No, that can't be true. There's one person at least. Then tell me who it is. Tell me who told you directly that they hate Satoko. The room fell silent again. It had become obvious that they were all avoiding Satoko because of a huge misunderstanding. The Child Consultation Center won't do anything, no matter what we do. They're convinced that the town council is on their side. We won't be able to fight until the council makes it clear that they're not supporting them. Kimiyoshi, by any chance, do you need approval from someone? Ouch. You're right on the money with that. Oops. With that one. The mayor forced out a smile. I had no idea what Rika-chan was talking about, but she must have hit the nail on the head. Who could it be, though? Who was that someone? If I could persuade them, the village would end up supporting us. Are you talking about my hag of a grandmother? The Kimiyoshi family has forgiven the Hojo family. The Furuta family has done the same, right? Me, I'm one of the leaders of the three families, too. Hinamizo has three powerful families who make all decisions for the village. That's been a tradition since the time of Omigufuchi village. It's kind of an old tradition, but this was a road we couldn't avoid. So all we need is approval from the Sonzaki family. I've heard that they have the most power among the three. Everyone knew that, but it was taboo to speak it. It's something only I could say, since I didn't have the ties they did. If we can persuade Michan's grandmother, will the town council support us? What do you think, Mion-chan? I don't want to fight with Granny. But if she's standing between Satoko and safety, I'll have to. I won't be fighting as the next head of the family. I'll be fighting as Satoko's friend. Kimiyoshi-san, please promise, if we persuade Mion's grandmother, will we have the council's support? Of course. No one would complain if it was the decision of the three families. Let me get this straight. You're all refusing to help because you're afraid of Mion's grandmother, right? You're all grown adults. Good grief. That's what you say. But isn't Oryo-san terrifying? That's not true. I know Michan's grandmother very well. Sure, she has a scary side, but she's not that bad. Keiichi-kun is scarier than her when he's angry. Yeah, and Ren is even scarier than me. Alright, I'm going to persuade Mion's grandmother. Support us when we succeed. Actually, don't just quietly support us either. I'm expecting you guys to take action too. What do you mean by that? We want the Onigufuchi Guardians to reunite. Are you going to let us kids do all the protesting? You want us to protest too? We can't do that. We should do that. We're going to tell those officials that we're going to fight against them. We need to do everything we can. If we're going to support Keiichi-kun on behalf of the whole village, we need to make things clear to them. We have to support these kids if we're going to be on their side. Once we decide to do that, it's no longer just Maibara-kun's fight. It'll be the village's fight too. In that case, you should be our leader, Kimiyoshi-san. There's no way the mayor shouldn't participate in the protests. Alright, I got it already. If Oryo-san gives us her approval, I'll act like a man. I'll help Keiichi-kun. Does everyone here agree? Aye. But you're not going to help him persuade Oryo-san? Ugh, fine. I'll come with him to persuade Oryo-san. The way he talks might be too immature for her. She needs someone who can talk like an old person. I'm sorry for being so disrespectful today. I really have to apologize, everyone. Don't worry. You said some good things. You broke up the collusion in one fell stroke. Your refusal to cave under pressure is the very pride of Hinamizo itself. I'm sorry for hitting you. I got pretty riled up. No, that was my fault. You did a good job too, Chie-sensei. You're a wonderful teacher. I really didn't know that some people were still bitter toward the Hojo family. Probably, Oryo-san is the most bitter of anybody. However, according to Mion, Oryo-san doesn't hate the Hojo family either. Really, the whole thing was ridiculous. Good for you, Maibara-san. I never thought you'd get the town council on your side. No, I don't have them on my side just yet. I need to persuade Mion's grandmother first. Oryo-san is like a dictator around here, but she won't do anything that would make her lose the trust of the villagers. If you've already settled things with the town council, then it'll be hard for the Sonozakis to oppose you alone. You're such a great negotiator. You insulted them at the start, but then you gradually buttered them up. I did it the way my dad writes articles for his art magazine. That's the same style he uses. Ho ho! Your father set a good example for you, huh? He's an artist, isn't he? I'd love to see his work someday. Well, my dad doesn't even let me see his work. I guess he can't show it to him either. What kind of dirty pictures is he drawing? Well then, let's go and see Oryo-san tomorrow night. We can't go right away. Once she gets into a bad mood, she'll never listen to us. I'll be coming along too. Who else is going? I'm coming too. Renaissance also coming. She said she'd cleave her head apart if she doesn't nod it for us. Oh, I'm not going to do that. Don't be mean, Shi-chan. I'm going too, Keiichi. I'll talk to Oryo myself. I see. Give her a piece of your mind. Of course, I plan to myself as well. I'll try and be there too. I might be able to help just by being around. This sure is getting interesting. Are you ready to defeat that evil hag, sis? To be honest, I wish you'd swap with me tomorrow. Keiichi-kun, you've made great progress today. Yeah, the more people we have on our side, the stronger we'll become. We can save Satoko if the whole village gets together. This village once won against the national government, after all. The old people seemed proud to hear me talk about the damn conflict. Everyone started talking about all the heroic things they did back then. I thought we could never save Satoko, but that fate is reaching its end. The power we have right now is overwhelming. The power to defeat fate is far stronger than the mere chance alignment of a few coincidences. Boom. The next evening. We were all gathered at the Sonozaki residence. I thought we'd be talking with Mion's grandma over tea or something. However, it wasn't so relaxed a situation as that. Mion's grandma stayed in her futon. She was propped up against a huge cushion, and it made me feel like I was about to talk to a queen. That wasn't the only thing either. There were about 5 members of the Sonozaki family surrounding her, as though I was at some kind of Yakuza gathering. Yes, this wasn't just any old town council meeting. It was a meeting of the 3 families. I kind of felt as though I didn't belong, but I also didn't have the time to be afraid. If I could persuade this lady, I could get help from the villagers. So that's the situation. If the town council doesn't change their current stance, then no matter what Keiichi-kun says past this point, the center won't listen to him. At the very least, the town council needs to declare their neutrality. The mayor was the first to speak. The old woman looked very grave. I couldn't tell if she always wore an expression like that, or if the story made her look that way. She made a comment in a very low voice to her people. The lady wearing a kimono spoke for her instead. She must be Mion's mother. The Child Consultation Center is simply doing their job. They understand how much you care about her, and they are going to take your appeal into consideration. What more are you expecting from them? Mom, let me explain this to you. Satoko's uncle is a horrible man. He regularly beat Satoko last year, and I'm sure he's even worse this time around because of his lover up and abandoning him. Didn't you investigate him, Gosai? Teppei Hojo, I mean. I did make such a report to Akane-san. You see, Mom? If we let the Child Consultation Center take care of this, it'll take months for them to save Satoko. I can't let her stay with that jerk for that long. She's not going to die. Stop making such a big fuss over this. The old lady finally spoke, but she didn't have anything pleasant to say. She might not die, but... Then shut up, you idiot. Worse, you're not even willing to risk your own life over this. Grow a backbone, you twit. Ah, what nonsense. The more I listen, the more nonsense I hear. Wow. So that's why the whole village is afraid of her. This was Oryo Sonozaki, known variously as the Hag, or Empress Sonozaki. Oryo, Satoko is my friend. I want you to save her. Rika-chana, remember what I've told you all this time? You have to choose your friends carefully. That girl is a demon child of the Hojo family. I'm disappointed in you too, Dr. Irie. Aren't you old enough to realize what you're doing? Satoko-chan is the daughter of the Hojo family, but she's not the one who supported the dam project and fought against the village. I think it's unfair for you to judge her that way. Shut up! Who do you think you're talking to, you piece of shit? Are you sure that she's willing to forgive Satoko-chan? That's what Mion told me. I think I get where the villagers are coming from now. You look like you have something to say, Keiichi-kun. You should just let it out. I made eye contact with Mion's mom. She's very pretty, but she was wearing the same grave look as Oryo. By then, I had no doubts that this was Mion's mother. I don't mind talking. Is it really okay, though? Go ahead. You came all this way here to talk to the Sonozaki residents. You should speak if you want to. Ren nodded in agreement. Okay. Oryo Sonozaki-san, my name is Keiichi Maibara. I moved here not too long ago. Nice to meet you. I already know a great deal about you. Let me tell you something. When your family moved to this village, you didn't come here to introduce yourself. That left a pretty bad impression. Why was Mion only telling me that now? Sure hope I'm not too late to introduce myself. Leave aside the fact that it's Satoko Hojo for a minute. The important thing to note is that a villager is in danger right now. In order to help that person, we have no choice but to make an appeal to the Child Consultation Center. Besides, I'm doing all this of my own accord. I haven't caused you any trouble. But you heard from the mayor that you have been causing trouble, didn't you? The Hinamizawa Town Council and the Shishiboni City Hall are working together. The Shishiboni mayor and this virago here had a talk with each other, and they decided to coexist. That was necessary for this village to prosper. But that village is going to let an innocent girl suffer? Didn't you hear what I just said? No one is going to just let her suffer. The consultation center will take action when appropriate. You want them to hurry up, but frankly, you're being selfish. The town council and the government officials are in a business relationship. They're treating Satoko's issue like it's an ordinary one. So basically, you're saying that you don't care how much danger Satoko is in right now? Like Mion just told you, Teppei is a horrible person. When Satoko showed up at the school 3 days after she was kidnapped, she was already at her wit's end. After only 3 days. I can't even imagine what would happen if we left her alone with him for a month. There's no guarantee that she will be saved after that either. At that point, they might decide to put her case on hold again. Mrs. Sonozaki, does the emotional damage she's suffering not matter at all to you? So what do you think we should do? I'm making an appeal to the Child Consultation Center, asking them to save her as soon as possible. I'm going to continue going to the center until they do. Well then, there you go. You can just continue your appeal. It's none of the Sonozaki's business. Isn't that enough? Damn it. She's so hard-headed. It was easy to win an argument with the old people in the assembly hall, since they got agitated so quickly. But Akane-san, Mion's mom, is way tougher than that. Both of the Sonozaki sisters and their grandma are quick to anger, but Akane-san seemed incredibly calm. She was calm, but still full of animosity. But I can't continue our appeal anymore. If the town council doesn't tell the officials that they aren't going to support us, the Child Consultation Center won't listen to us at all. Did you hear that, Mom? We can't just do whatever we want. We need the town council to decide whether they're going to support us or not. Actually, the council has already made their decision. They said they'd support us as long as Granny agreed. Who the hell made that decision behind my back? You're all aware of how the Hojo family acted during the dam conflict, aren't you? If you're asking me to forgive them, my answer's still no. I'm not really familiar, actually. What were Satoko-chan's parents like? Her mom was like a stronger version of Satoko. Her dad was, well, Teppei's older brother. He was even stronger and scarier than Teppei. Scarier than Teppei? That's not very funny. I see. Now I'm starting to understand how they clashed with the Sonozaki family. I guess she hasn't forgotten how much they pissed her off. Ah, you're saying it out loud so we can hear. My children have told me a lot about you. I heard you're one courageous boy. Let me tell you this straight up. We'll be satisfied as long as that old lady in the futon just nods her head. I'm not expecting you all to get involved in our protest. All I need is for her to nod. And if she said no, I'd smash her head and make me on the new family head, so she can nod for us. What the fucking hell did you say, you goddamn son of a bitch? Someone bring me a sword. I'll cut him in pieces and dump him in the well. Are you ready for a fight, old lady? Wherever you ate tonight will be your last supper. Shut up, you fucking little shit. Do you even know who you're talking to? The evil hag sent a violent glare my way, the intimidating aura surrounding her becoming almost visible. Normally, I'd be terrified. However, I can't back off today. Satoko doesn't have much time left. Everyone here knows that. We all know that she'll be forever damaged in only a few more days. We would then cry and lament our powerlessness. We have to fight as best we can, so that we have no regrets. There can be no limits to how far we'd go to save her. Let me make this clear. Satoko is my friend. I'm fighting for her sake. How about you? I heard that you used to be like that. You once fought, you and the whole village, just to save one villager. Isn't that how strongly you rejected the dam project? You're just an outsider. Wait a minute, old lady. I'm not an outsider. I'm Keiichi Maibara from Hinamizawa. I'm fighting to save my friend, who's also from Hinamizawa. How can you say that I'm an outsider? Oryo-san, Maibara-kun came to this village not too long ago, but he's already adapted to our way of life. He's a young man with lots of promise. Since when did you think disrespect is the same as promise, Dr. Irie? Someone bring me my medicine and some tea already. All this blood rushing to my head is making it ache. The man on the far end stood up and brought over some tea and medicine. If you think I'm being disrespectful, then let me make this request properly. We want the Sonozaki family's help in order to save Satoko Hojo. Satoko lives in this village too. Moreover, she's my friend. Please help us. As I deeply bowed my head to her, my friends bowed along with me. Keiichi-kun, raise your head. What shall we do, mother? It's none of my business. What are you expecting out of me? Satoko-chan's like family to Keiichi-kun. It's only natural for him to seek help for his family. Mom! However, the Sonozaki family and the Hojo family were enemies. They once disparaged mother in public, too. We can never forgive them for doing that. This is an issue of distinction. What do you mean, distinction? They would need to make an apology. However, the parents died in an accident. There's no one else who can apologize to us. Forgiveness won't come cheap. So if she apologizes to you, you'll forget about what her family did? The world we live in is one of honor. If she apologized to us, we'll have no choice but to forgive her. Are you going to make Satoko-chan apologize? Sure. I'll make her apologize for what her parents did. Her parents can't be there to do so, but you'll still forgive her, won't you? We'll have to see her before we make our final decision. But I suppose we can say that we'll forgive her. What do you think, Oryo-san? What if Satoko-chan apologized to you about the dam conflict? Well, I'll think about that when she apologizes to me. I might forgive her, if she really did. She laughed, obviously thinking that Satoko would never actually apologize to her. What, Booger, you want to come up? Oh, yes. It seemed for a moment as though Rena had compromise in mind. However, Rena always has a plan up her sleeve. But if she apologized to you, would you apologize to her for discriminating against an innocent girl who didn't deserve to be treated that way? Huh? Satoko-chan wasn't the one supporting the dam project. She's just the child of those who did. But you hate her just for her last name. You're not just an ordinary old lady in this village. You hold great influence over the people here, because you're the leader of the Sonozaki family. Your public hatred towards Satoko-chan had a huge impact on the way the village thinks. That became clear with the town council too. Everyone is afraid to interact with the Hojo family because of how much you hate them. You're the mother of all Hinamizawa. You were instrumental in keeping us all afloat in the difficult times after the war. It's only natural that you hold such great influence over the people here. You're aware of how much your decisions can affect the whole village. Let me say this again. Satoko is my friend. She's my family. If your influence is going to cause us trouble, I will do battle with you. That's what protecting your friends is all about. I'm impressed to hear that from a city boy like you. Let me ask what the other family members think. Well, how about it, everyone? What he's saying does make sense. The problem between the Sonozaki family and the Hojo family is not his business, but he's clear about how much he wants to save her. There wouldn't be any problem if she wasn't a child of the Hojo family. They can do whatever they want to. We as a family can just stay neutral. Don't you agree? No, apparently that's not enough, everyone. The big scary man in sunglasses spoke with a deep voice. He's saying that the town council won't support them unless the Sonozaki family agrees to as well. Without the support of the council, the center won't listen to them either. We need to be clear about our decision on this one. What do you think? Keiichi-kun, you're a stronger man than my daughters have led me to believe. Frankly, I've had to change my opinion of you. You're a man among men. Hello. Are you Mion's father? I thought he was the boss of a Yakuza clan or something. Wait, I did hear once that her dad is exactly that. He certainly looks the part. It's partly our fault that your friend is struggling. Her parents aside, she's just an innocent girl. Isn't that right, Mother? Who even cares? Anyone who bears the Hojo name is an ungrateful little shit. He even told me a few minutes ago that he's going to smash my head in. A bastard like that doesn't deserve to be called a man among men. Mother, can we help Keiichi-kun this one time? He's a passionate young man. Not many youngsters these days have that kind of inner strength. Granny, please. We need your help. Satoko is my friend too. I deeply respect how you fought for this village. I want to fight like you, for my friend. I'm asking for your help too. Satoko is my family. She's a little sister to me. Please give us your help. Upon seeing the twins bowing so deeply, the stubborn old woman simply stared at them with that grave look of hers. I figured it would be difficult to get her to cooperate with us. The mayor looked troubled too. Mion's grandma eventually turned her gaze to me, and I stared back at her. I already bowed to you once, so I'm not going to do that again. But let me say it just one more time. Please help us. Satoko is my friend, and she's one of the villagers. She was never disrespectful to you. You have no reason to hate her. If I nod my head, what happens next? Once the council is on our side, the consultation center will have to hear us out. If they still don't listen, then we'll go there again. We'll go there with the whole village. Tomorrow is Saturday. The consultation center is open in the morning. The villagers will all be gathering for the preparation for the festival then. So I'll just take them all along with me. That would be crazy. You'd be involving hundreds of people. How many people would come exactly? I don't know how many of them would, but I'd definitely go make a speech in front of all of them. How do things look to you, Mr. Mayor? Most of the council members are supporting them. Our relationship with the government is important, but some of them think it's more important to fight for Satoko-chan, that is, to resurrect the spirit of the Guardians. We all understand what Keiichi-kun is trying to do, and no one disagrees with him. So the whole village is united even without Mother? But you're still seeking final approval from the Sonozaki family? That's a rather dirty way to do business. Akane-san, Oryo-san, to put it simply, I feel bad for Satoko-chan. She's doing the best she can, even though she's all alone. I think it's time for us to let her know that she won't be ostracized by anyone anymore. I refuse. I will never forgive the demon child of the Hojo family. Fine then. You're the enemy of my friend. That makes you my enemy. I'm going to kill you right here. Mion, you can take her place and lend us your support then. I'm going to kill this old bat right this minute. As I jumped up, her family members stood in my way. They all had put their hands into their pockets. I don't want to imagine what they might pull out of there. This is pissing me off. How dare you say that? I can't take this anymore. Oreo, think of your blood pressure. I'm sorry, Rikuchama. Will you pass me that bag of medication? My veins really are going to burst. She was mumbling too much for me to tell what she was saying, but I could tell that she was furious. She whispered something into Mion's mother's ear. She spoke for her instead. I'm sorry, but this is it for tonight. She has a horrible headache, and she can't talk with you any longer. But I still haven't gotten my answer. Keiichi-kun, you need to learn to play by the adults' rules. I've been very patient with you today. That's because you're a friend of my daughter's. You need to reflect on that, don't you think? Kei-chan, we've done enough today. Let's get out of here. Based on Mion's and Shion's reaction, Mion's mom is very scary when she's angry. They were convinced that their mom was going to explode in about 10 seconds. Still, should we really leave after that? Damn it, I really want her to nod. If she gives me an answer tonight, I can gather a huge crowd tomorrow. The people at the Child Consultation Center were laughing at us today. We'd gradually increase the number of people we had until the 3rd day, but on the 4th day we had far less. They must think that we won't show up at all within a couple of days. No matter what, we can't stop showing up. How many days has it been since she was taken by her uncle? We don't have a single day to waste. However, for tonight the meeting was over. The old lady went to sleep and we were kicked out of the room. And then, even though the rest of us were forced to leave, the mayor stayed behind to wrap things up. We decided to wait in the yard for him to come back out. Damn it, we're almost there. You said everything you needed to say. You'll have to give her time to think about it. Of course, we don't exactly have time to waste. What do you think, Coach? Ori-san was in a really foul mood. Once she gets like that, she'll stay that way for at least 3 days. It might be difficult for us to take any villagers along for the protest tomorrow. At least she listened to us until the end. We just have to trust that she'll make the right decision. You're right. It's hard to trust in someone and just wait, though. Hey, everyone, you all did a good job in there. Mio and Shion ran over to join us. Hey, you two did a good job too. How was it? Do you think it'll work out? I have no idea. From the looks of it, she was in a terrible mood. Honestly, Kei-chan, I don't think you should ever come back here. What, so I can't ever hang out at your house again? Jeez. Still, that was really impressive, Kei-chan. You didn't even seem scared. Was she that scary? She had a scary look on her face, sure, but it wasn't that bad. You can only say that because you don't know how scary she really is. Well, as they say, ignorance is bliss. That's not true. I think he would have fought her even if he knew how scary she can really be. Alright, I think I gotta feed the cat real quick. I'll be right back. Right, let me just sip some water and we'll continue. Starting to near my limits though. Speaking of which, you seemed fine when she yelled at you too, Ryugu-san. She might have raised her voice, but she wasn't actually angry. I wasn't scared at all either. Not at all. Did she really not look angry to you? No, your grandmother wasn't angry at all. I- Is that really how it looked to her? To me, it looked like her head was going to explode. The next moment, I heard someone walking toward us. It was the mayor, who was accompanied by Mion's mother. Oh, Uncle Kimiyoshi. How was it? Did the old witch finally start melting? Well, we got her approval. What? Dun, dun. You mean? The Virago gave you the green light. You can do what you want to now, Keiichi-kun. What is Virago? I've seen her use that once before. A dominating, violent, or bad-tempered woman. Using that for your leader is a bit weird, but oh well. Alright, let's get back to it then. Are you serious? Is that really true, Mom? That hag was so ticked off, though. I can't even imagine what caused her to grant us permission. No matter how it happened, I guess she accepted me in the end. The Virago gave approval for the town council to support Keiichi-kun. Now you have the Onigufuchi Guardians on your side. With them, there's no way you can lose. But you can't put up a disgraceful fight either. You only just moved to this village, but you'll need to understand and appreciate the history of Hinamizawa. Can you take on this responsibility? Yes, I can. You're a brave boy. You do have my respect. It takes great courage to address the Virago like that. You gave me chills when you jumped on top of her and put your hands around her throat. Eh? Well, I almost did jump on her, but I wasn't actually serious. Listen for a moment. You jumped on top of her and nearly choked her to death. That's how it's going to be. Well, why? That's so violent. The Virago can't possibly forgive the Hojo family. She also can't possibly give you what you want simply because you came to her and begged for it. So unless the story goes something like that, after Keiichi-kun violently fought with the Virago, she was impressed by his chivalry and decided to grant him special permission. It won't sound convincing. Got it, Mion? Yeah, that sounds great. Things can't just be simple with her, huh? Huh. This is how a legend is born. Now people will believe that you physically fought with the hag in order to save Satoko. People are going to be afraid of you, Kei-chan. This is the beginning of the legend of Keiichi, the strongest. Everybody will run and hide when they see you on the streets. I don't want to be a legend. Anyway, thank you very much. You don't need to thank me. The town council made the decision. We can't go against their wishes. In fact, we would have preferred if you just ignored us and went ahead with things. That was a dirty move of yours, Mayor Kimiyoshi-san. No, well, I'm glad that she gave us her approval after all that. The Virago always worried about Satoko-chan, because people were still treating her poorly. She thought that she could only make everything right with her death. Thanks to all of you, she was able to settle the issue before the end. I'm sure she appreciates it. No, we're very thankful to her as well. I'll have to come here again to thank her in person. That's not a good idea. She'll chase you around with a sword next time. In fact, I'm surprised she didn't do that today. She must be fond of you, Keiichi-kun. I thought so too. Oreo is even more fond of using her sword. Rika-chan, don't say that with such a big smile. I'm glad I'm still alive. I've grown fond of you too after today. That's what being a man is all about. Satoko-chan is a very lucky girl, having such a dedicated man as you. Wait, Mom, Satoko and Kei-chan aren't like that. Oh, they're not? If he doesn't have a girl yet, then you two have a chance. Hey, Keiichi-kun, between Mion and Shion, which do you prefer, Shion? You can call me your mother from now on if you like. Mion and Shion simultaneously turned red and hit me with their fist and their elbow. The apple sure doesn't fall far from the tree, huh? Their mom talks the same way that they do. Well, Keiichi-kun, you managed to successfully persuade Oreo-san. Just as we promised, you have the council's support. We'll call the people in charge tomorrow and let them know. And of course, I'll tell them to take Satoko-chan under their protection as soon as possible. We have Oreo-san's support too. I'm sure Satoko-chan will be rescued shortly after my call. Are you serious? You just managed to persuade someone that important, Kei-chan. So, Satoko-chan really will be safe this time tomorrow? We can't say that for sure. If they refuse Uncle Kimiyoshi's request, that means the Ufuji Guardians will come after them. He's normally a calm guy, but he's like a monster when he becomes the leader of the Guardians. Aren't you, Uncle? I'll be a monster if I have to. I can promise you that. I'll do my best to ensure that Satoko-chan is rescued as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Also, will you please stop ostracizing Satoko just because of who her parents were? We heard you saying bad things about her, you know. Something about how she's a member of a cursed family. I was just saying those things because of other people. I don't personally have anything against her. Then quit saying it, alright? Please accept her as just another child of the village. Of course. I'll never say that again. I promise you that. I'm afraid Keiichi-kun might throttle me too. After that, we started heading back home. Satoko still isn't saved, but I think we made huge progress today, just the same. The mayor is going to call the Child Consultation Center tomorrow to tell them that he's on our side. He's also going to persuade them to save Satoko as soon as possible. He'll bring up Oryo-san's name, too. Is Satoko really going to be rescued from her fate? Yeah, I'm sure she will. She might even be saved tomorrow. If not, we'll go all out next time. It'll be the war to end all wars. Also, Rika-chan. Me? Don't use words like fate anymore. Putting it like that, it's like it's already been decided. But see, nothing is actually decided in advance. We're the ones who make our own futures. So stop using the word fate as if there's nothing we can do. Rika seemed to think about what I said for a while. I wondered for a moment if I said something that hurt her feelings, but Rika-chan soon smiled at me. Okay, I'll do what you say. I won't use that word anymore. You told me you could change fate as easily as tearing a piece of paper. After 100 years, you're about to break the horrible cycle of Teppei's return. I can now believe that the danger that awaits me is something that can be changed as well. The worst thing that could ever happen is you not moving to Hinamizawa. I experienced that twice in the past 100 years. Those were the saddest worlds of all. Huh? I don't understand the thing that just came out of your mouth. You're trying to confuse the issue, aren't you? Me? That's a secret. I'll do just as Keiichi says. I won't use words like fate anymore. Now it's daytime. Oh, thank you for calling. You've reached Shishiboni City Hall. Hello? Excuse me, could you get me the local affairs chief from the social welfare department? Of course, please hold. Thank you for calling. This is the local government section. Hello, may I speak to the head clerk Ida-san? Hello, Kimiyoshi-san. Thank you very much for the other day. No, it's no problem. Really, I should be thanking you. I'm much obliged. The head clerk is right here. I'll give him the phone. Sir, it's Kimiyoshi, the head of the Hinamizawa Town Council. Hello. How may I help you today? Well, I'm calling about that case at the Child Consultation Center. Oh yes, a group of young children have been protesting in front of the office. They're such an inconvenience. I'm so glad that we were able to talk to you about that. So, how did it turn out? Well, the village has officially decided to support Maibara-kun. Huh? Excuse me, could you say that again? The town council agrees with what Maibara-kun is doing. The younger people in the council want to support him as best as they can. Well, I say younger, but they're in their 50s and 60s. I see. However, what are the other council members saying? Well, we held an emergency meeting last night. Some of the more hard-headed members were against it at first, but they were persuaded by Maibara-kun in the end. You know, we don't see young people with that much backbone these days. In my opinion, attitudes like that ought to be nurtured. For the sake of a brighter future. So, everyone on the council has reached a consensus? Yes, that's right. Everyone came to an agreement. Nobody is opposed to supporting him. Kimiyoshi-san, as I explained to you, the people at the Child Consultation Center are doing the best they can. However, they cannot render their final judgment before the investigation period is over. It's a human rights issue. I believe Maibara-kun explained it to them many times. Satoko-chan is being locked up by a terribly violent man. The emotional scars she's suffering will never heal. She will forever have a deep wound in her pure and innocent heart. Remember what they were saying at the youth seminar the other day? You were there with me, weren't you? Yes, well. What does the Sonozaki family say about this? Well, Oya-san also agrees with us. She was very clear about that. If you are going to insist on not rescuing Satoko-chan, the whole village will be joining Maibara-kun's movement. Oya Sonozaki-san said that? Well, this is a problem within the family, so it's very hard for the government to take care of it. If I could see the man, I'd talk to him in person, but he rarely ever leaves his house. Besides, if one of us personally said something to him, he might get nervous and hurt Satoko-chan even more. That's why the local government has to get involved. I understand your point. I'll call Sonozaki-san in a moment and ask for her opinion too. I'd advise you not to do that. Oya-san is very upset right now. I really wouldn't call her for some time. Really? That's not good. When she's mad, it's like she turns into a demon. Anyway, I want you to tell the Child Consultation Center to put Satoko-chan under their protection immediately. I'll come with you if you need me to. We can go right now. Oh no, I can't make you go to all that trouble. I'll call the Child Consultation Center and give you their feedback later today. I want you to let me know before noon. I'm sure your call won't be so long it stretches into the evening. Is the head of the office that busy? No, he's not. Very well. I'll call you back before noon today. Thank you very much. Tell them that the town council is very upset that they're not taking this appeal seriously enough. Yes, I'll let them know. Yes. I'll talk to you again soon. Click. Sir, are you okay? This is bad. Hinamizawa village is kicking up a storm again. Saito-kun, will you please call Sonozaki-san and ask her what's going on? I need to call the Child Consultation Center. This might be a resurrection of the dam conflict. Oh, hello? Yes, this is the local government section calling. May I speak to the head of the office? The Hinamizawa Town Council is supporting them? I thought you told me they weren't connected to this. I did. When I spoke to the mayor the other day, they weren't involved. However, they changed their stance just last night. I understand. However, we're still not going to reverse our decision, even if the whole village really does show up. It wouldn't be right to give her special treatment just because of the town council protests. Sir, I believe you're aware of this, but they're the only Fuji guardians. You know about the dam conflict, right? I wasn't living here then, so I don't know much about it. I heard that it was some huge government protest or something like that. I'm going to be honest with you. I think you should pay attention to what they're saying. But wait a minute. I heard that the only Fuji guardians disbanded years ago. Haven't you had a fairly close relationship with the village ever since the conflict ended? Yes, things had worked out smoothly. I wonder what happened to change that overnight. The mayor seems to be favoring a young man named Maibara-kun. They have the support of Sonozaki-san too. It's not a trivial matter. Sonozaki-san? You mean the ruler of the underside of Hinamizawa? I've never actually met her. At any rate, you need to be very careful, if it's at all possible. I think you should try to protect Hojo-san immediately. I'm not familiar with this mayor, so I don't know what kind of person he is. Our job needs to be done carefully. No matter the job, it's just not right to do things in a disorderly fashion. Our people are doing the best they can. They have piles of other cases to work on. Every single case is very important. We can't just prioritize her case for no reason. I see. I understand. I'll call Kimiyoshi-san back and let him know your opinion. You need to call him back? Look, the municipal government doesn't exist for this town council's amusement. Why are you bending over backwards just to look after the needs of one village? I understand. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Click. This is really bad. That guy isn't even from around here. He has no idea how scary that town council can be. That's a transfer from the prefectural office for you. He's fighting against Hinamizawa. I refuse to be responsible for this one. How did you do? Did you get to talk to Sonozaki-san? Yes. She has the same opinion as Kumiyoshi-san. She also wants a call from you regarding what the Child Consultation Center said. No. This is really, really bad. I thought this was going to be a happy Saturday. The head of the Consultation Center has no idea what he's up against. It's going to be a huge crowd swarming the area by the beginning of the week. We have to call Kumiyoshi-san and Sonozaki-san right away, huh? Should I help with that too? Before anything else, we should be calling the mayor of Shishibone. I think this might be a good stopping point. Yes. I don't think I can continue further and not damage my throat. Oh. Yeah, it's a perfect time. Wait, there's no new tips. So I guess we're done. So I'll just save and... So they refuse. Alright. Save. There. Alright, we're stopping for today. The next stream will be Tuesday evening at 7:30 with Mortuary Assistant. Hope you all have a good rest of your morning, day, or evening. Bye-bye.